I'm trying to upload some data onto NDA because we're working with the NIMH grant, but we only upload a subset of participants on also a subtask. So in your email, you suggested to create another branch, delete everything else that's not relevant, and then run the bits to NDA.
Exactly.
Okay. But
if you want, we can go through it if you because that might be useful. But also this bits to NDA, maybe a little bit of history behind it, is that it was developed by Chris Gorgolevsky as pretty much like proof of concept at one of the hackathons which we had. Just go to new tab and bits to NDA, right? So that's the helper we were talking about, right? And if you look, primarily it was developed years back, and there were only a few improvements since then. Well, yesterday, and then it was 2020, so nobody cared about it. So the tool is kind of in a sad state, but actually, if you look, Luke Chang was about to fix it, and nobody reacted, and then, Jesus, what is his name? Dylan, right? Dylan from NIH. He proposed lots of changes which we are also kind of not attended to. So ideally, we should just incorporate these changes, maybe. And I bet Dylan knew best, what should be done. Besides that, code might be a little bit better, but there is lots of changes there which would be useful. But for starters, maybe we could just do on an example and see how it would work with what I proposed, because we did that a while back for a study which we also uploaded to openneuro.org. If we search for Anna Manelis, there's a study, Manelis. Here we go. I think it would have been this data set, for which we uploaded only anatomicals for those people. Session 1. Scans, actually maybe field map as well for some reason, but you see there is no functional data, right? So it's only anatomy. So it's pretty much exactly your use case. I think it's like fraction of a data set which was uploaded. And hopefully we mentioned it also, and we uploaded here, but I think that was the one also which uploaded to the NDA. Because remember, we did upload some. I don't remember which one. How do I go back? Give me back. It's validation, valid. I don't want files first. Description. I'll just go this. Here, readme. All participants have baseline scans, were diagnosed, blah, blah. Yeah, so you can discover more and yada, yada. I will not look for original location locally since we are doing public demonstration, but let me go through just an example how we would have done it, maybe, right? I'll do it on some remote server which has enough space, but also scrap. CD scrap, TMP. Let's say we decided to do on Open Neuro. I don't know if there is. What was Hackspeed data set? I forgot. But okay, let's do this. I don't know how heavy it is or whatever. I'll just go to this data set. And what I told you is to, let's create a branch, NDA, right? And then we go to this branch and we see that, let's say, all of these subjects, they have anatomical and functional, right? And there is 13 subjects. So what I would have done, I would have created, make directory code. I have created prep for NDA, SH, right? In which I would have said something like this. RM, RF. Or maybe I'll do git rm r and f and subject. Let's say I want all high subjects and subjects all but first two, so I'll say 3 to 9. Boom. Okay, So remove all the subjects. Remove subjects I don't want to share. Subjects I don't want to share. And then among those left, I'll remove functional, right? Remove functional. I don't want to share, right? In your case, it will be different tasks, right? Or something like that. Want to share. Okay, let's see how that works. Git add prep20a. Add my precious script to git script to remove stuff to not be going to NDA. Done. So we have created the script, it committed to Git, right? We're all good. Now let's run it. Not removing func recursal without R. Okay. So let's modify the script because I've forgotten to add R here, right? Okay. What I'll do, I'll amend my previous commits.
Oh, interesting.
So I kind of keep modifying it. But I have those changes which were introduced, right? Because I ran it already once. I'll just reset hard. But you can already appreciate the fact that I didn't get any single data file, right? I cloned the repository. I quickly started to modify it, right? And see, reset hard brings me back to clean state, right? So let's try to run the script again. Oh, now it runs and we can observe, the end product. Okay, we deleted those files. We are left with sub01. Nice. Oh, and I don't want to upload derivatives. Am I right, QC? Nah, no derivatives. Okay, so let's modify that script again. Git rm rdd. Okay, right? And I bring Ctrl R. Do you remember Ctrl R? I tell everybody to use.
I love it.
Amen. Boom. Okay. Shift G to save and done. Okay, I'm again done. And Ctrl R, reset hard. And I rerun that script again. That's why I told you, create a script, right? Because by modifying the script, you could just kind of reach that desire. Oh, now I'm doing the wrong thing, but I'll code not them. By modifying the script, I can kind of just create the ideal, procedure, and then eventually run it, right?
Yeah.
So now it looks like good, right? So I have those two subjects, right? And I have only anatomy for them, right? So it seems like that's what I want to upload to NDA. Right?
Wow, I love it.
So now I could just maybe commit, right? But what I want to do is actually I'll reset hard for the last time. And instead of just running that one, I'll just do what? Datalad run, right? And the beauty is for running this one, I don't even need any data, right? So I don't need to specify inputs or outputs, kind of, right? I could just say run stream dataset to only stuff I want to upload to NDA. Right? And I run the script and datalad commits everything, and you could see how fast it was, right? It didn't deal with any data. And now we have the commit, which says, that I've run the script, right? And all the results were committed.
That's awesome. So technically, once I go through this, I would grab this branch and upload it to NDA.
Exactly. So now next step will be to run that bits to NDA thing, right? But also I just want to demonstrate, so we are in this branch, and because it's Git annex and all the files, and not adjusted branch, but regular Git annex branch, look how fast it is to go back. It's like you didn't mention even, right? Now we are in the version of a data set, which has all the files, right? And I could go back. Check out, right, CO is my alias, right? So alias CO, I don't know how to actually, so git config alias CO or alias is CO. Yeah, see, it's for me, it's there's git configuration, which says that CO is a checkout. Nice. But originally, so checkout minus gets me to previous branch. He switched to branch NDA. Again, it was relatively quick, right? So I keep doing this dance really quickly. Regardless, either I have data or not, right? But okay, let me go back to NDA branch. Let me now get only the data which actually I need, right? Because I trimmed only to, well, substar, right? Now I'm getting these files. I've got them. That was quick. Now let's prepare for upload. Okay, where is our repository? We'll try to use non-modified version for now. We'll just go to what we have in bits to NDA, right? In this version, note that there is node. Column experiment ID must be manually filled in for now. This PR from Dylan and PR from Luke, they both trying to do actually add this parameter to specify participants study ID. But if it's only anatomy, I don't think that you even need it because I believe it's only for functional according to Dylan in this PR. Anyway, this is regression, but the point is that what we'll do now, because it's not on PyPy or anywhere, we'll just datalad install into these datasets from, or clone would be just as fine. Datalad clone this bits to NDA tool into code bits to NDA. Okay, so we'll use that repository as submodule. So we know exactly which version we use. Okay, let's do this. Let's see what happens, how things break. Okay, source. All right, it's clone command. I started with install, but then went, okay. So now we have this precious script added as submodule, right? So we could ask datalad subdatasets. It will say that, oh, there is codes to bits to NDA submodule, right? Which we can, we have it now, but we could say datalad drop. Then it will, oh, I didn't do anything because by default it drops data, not the submodule. Well, uninstall. Now it's gone. It's not there, but we could say install, and then it will clone it from that repository, exactly that version, right? That's the beauty of subdatasets. Okay, now let's try to run this bloody thing, or we cannot run it. We need to install it, right? There is setup.py. Okay. Let's create a virtual environment. This is a shortcut which I brought up from history. I'll create, well, let's just put VM. Directory env without Python version, doesn't matter. Source will activate it, and then we'll pip install, maybe for editing even, these bits to NDA. What we'll need to do is probably to add ignore to Git, right? So we don't, well, let's just do it for now. We'll install this as within virtual environment and use everything which it needs, right? So it downloads NumPy, it is data, not that much actually, it's all good. Hopefully it's compatible with Python 3. Okay, now we have it. Bits to NDA. Bingo, it works. The only thing is that Git is not happy, right? That's what I was saying, that, oh, there is this venv now, which Git is not happy about. We could add this venv either to git ignore, but we don't need to modify maybe git ignore file right in this data set in the top. We'll just add it to git info exclude file, which is local. Now git status will be happy. Bingo, right? And we have this environment available right here. So we could remove it and recreate it later on and all that, right? Okay, now let's try to run this tool. Bits to an NDA gives us help. Bits directory here. GUID mapping. Okay, so now GUID mapping, right? So we need this GUID mapping file. You will need to use the GUID tool to generate GUID for your participants, and directory where NDA files will be stored. Okay.
This is where it broke for me. It did run, but I think it was saying, it was trying to go into a directory that I didn't specify and saying, you know, that things break. So that's the error message that I posted, which you responded to. What I could do is give you like a mock GUID, and then you could create like,
well, but in your case, it was different, right? In your case, you had all the participants, even though you didn't want, oh, maybe that's what we need to do. Our script didn't do that. participants TSV has all of them, right? So I don't know if it would fail or not for us, right?
So maybe that is the reason.
But let's try to run it. So GUID mapping, do you remember how it should look like? Path to text file participant ID to GUID mapping. So pretty much, is it CSV? Oh, right.
It's
So
a text file.
yeah,
But it's a
TXT, but it's tab separated one, I believe, right?
Okay. But adding a dash in between. So like if it's sub 01, then you would start with 01.
Dash. I thought it's tab separated, no?
They do require like a space dash space dash space and then the GUID ID.
Okay. Let's do our, we have bits to NDA thing, NDA stuff. I'll create a folder in which I'll create this, what is it, GUID mapping, which shouldn't be shared publicly, right? Because, you know, we know it's, okay, GUID mapping. Because GUIDs are not strictly de-identified information. And I thought it should be tab.
Without the sub dash.
Oh, without sub dash. So
just the
01, and then I think tab, and then GUID, whatever, right? So
yeah,
I
but
have
it also said to like include like a space dash space. Let me go to the bits to NDA.
Oh,
they have a little example script.
Oh, bits to NDA examples, right? Image 03. Well, that is
sorry, no, it's not the examples.
Maybe in README?
Yes, you're right. Yeah, GUID mapping file format. 1 line per subject, and then you can see like the participant ID dash GUID.
Really? Okay, let's try to follow this, although that's kind of not what I remember, but I could have remembered one. Okay, so it's not tab, it's space dash whatever. Let's try to do this. Okay, we've created for those two participants we have. We saved it, right? Then first of all, this one is I'll say that this is stuff which we don't want to be committed to Git, so we don't share it by mistake. I'll make Git attributes file, in which I'll say that annex large files equal anything. So pretty much all files in this folder, besides .git files, should go into, let's see if that worked. And git annex at, what it was, GUID mapping. Actually, we could do git add, and it should, I think. I want to edit an unlocked motion, although it doesn't matter. Okay, git annex that. Boom. Okay. So it became annexed. See, it's a symlink. And git commit. Let's try me to run it or to give it to what it is, bits to NDA tool, right? What else do we need? Bits to NDA. We need output directory. Directory where NDA files will be stored. Okay, so that will be that directory, NDA stuff. So what you could do again, bits to NDA, this folder, then mapping file, which is GUID mapping, and then we save it into NDA stuff, right? Something like this. Let's now get clean. Git status. Okay. Our NDA GUID mapping file, put instructions to not commit to Git in that folder. Boom. Okay. Now we go back to this command and let's try running it and see how it fails. Okay, scans file. Oh, this information is required by NDA cannot be found. Oh, that was a bad example I took, huh?
No, I got that as well. And so I just like created like an empty file.
Why did you get it? Because if you use UDConf, it should have created you one.
I don't think I have it.
That's We might need to fix the tool because maybe it's per session and it doesn't find it or something like that, but we should have created. Please check. Deepik.
And I believe that's the participant that errored out. I think I'll check right now whether
Okay.
every other participant had it, but the only one that errored was the one missing that scans TSV.
Then we would need indeed to create it for you. But in my case, I also need it, right? So I'll just populate from some file of another data set because in my example, it doesn't have. Oh, I should have created maybe for this QA data set. That would have been a better example, but okay, whatever. Because that example I could also share and it has all kinds of sessions and subjects and
Oh,
okay.
Yarik, so I was using the fMRI prep data directory, and maybe that's the reason why.
fMRI prep. Oh, that's not even well, there is a stretch. It's not bit raw data, right? And I
Yeah.
believe NIH doesn't require you to upload derived data, but it requires you to upload raw data. So you need to work
Oh,
on
really?
that first.
Okay.
At least as far as I know, and I could be wrong.
Then it's
But
easier. Great.
yeah.
I'm going to move into a different room.
Okay. Meanwhile, I found the sample scans file, so I'll go back to our example here. And subject of one, copy scans file here as subject 01, scans TSV, and I'll modify it. Has to be file name acquisition. I don't need any other fields here. This is specific to that. And what it needs to be, oh, it just needs dates and files. So we'll fake the date. And otherwise we'll just produce, we'll add them to here. Okay. For F in anet, nifty zip to echo F. And then it's TSV, so we need to add tab, and then we add date, and then we'll paste it, add it to this file. Dot. Here we go. We've got one scans file. We'll copy it as sub02 scans file. We'll need to rename it. O2. Then I'll remove these hits, and this one is not good. We'll just add this. For function enter into sub02. There might be better ways to accomplish the drill here, but you know, we do what we can. Okay, so what we've got, git status, datalad, save, generate fake scans files for demonstration purposes. Okay, let's now try running that again. Okay, inplane T2. Okay, because it's looking for inplane T2, but we don't have it, I guess, right? So it's kind of making it mandatory. No. Oh, hold on. Oh, maybe because I didn't. No, I have the data. What's happening here? I haven't. Oh, so the tool doesn't know about inplane T2. Scans to scans type. Do you know inplane? Okay, T2 weighted. So there is this mapping table, which maybe Dylan expanded. Let's look at maybe his pull request. Or maybe we'll just search inplane. Do you know how it is in NDA terms? Rough code in manifest support.
I have a template file from ABCD.
Did
that would help.
they have? Well, inplane T2. It's still T2 weighted imaging, right? Even MR structural. So inplane, it was inplane T2, but not T2. I think it's still, it's neuroimaging. Not this one, specification. Go to specification. Inplane T2 suffix. An arbitrary T2 weighted structural image matched. It doesn't even say that. I don't know why it even exists and why it's not in T2 weighted, but the more structural T2, I think it's the same, right? So I've modifying bits to NDA for that, and I'll submit the PR later on. Okay. Let's try running it again. Bits to NDA. Metadata extraction complete. Image 03, we've produced some kind of file. Hopefully it has relevant information.
Oh, wow.
So
it just ran through?
Yeah, it just ran through.
Beautiful.
Now let me submit a PR for that thing. NDA stuff. No, not NDA stuff. Bits to NDA. Okay, check out, branch, add, inplane, T2, parse. I have this little helper which might help me out. I need to go to this browser. Okay. Who could only review this one, right? Okay, but here we go. Maybe Dylan would. Am I right? Great pull request. Anyway, this would be the workflow, I would say, for you. Create a branch, do all this gizmo, right? But now I've committed this. Let me just finalize this demo by, so we have now modified this. I'll commit this adjusted state. We need to use patched for inline T2 support. Bits to the NDA, right? So I committing the state of modified bits to NDA. And now instead of just adding it to GUID, remember, we have datalad run. So we run my tool where I did this, right? Datalad run, datalad run, produce image 03 txt for submission to ADA, right? To NDA. And here input is, well, pretty much this all subject stuff, right? We need all those files. Output would be code NDA stuff because that's where we introduce those modifications, right? And also input is also code NDA stuff, GUID mapping, right? In principle, I could have used like variables here and whatnot, but I'll just give it as a command. I don't even need to do anything like this. The point is, I'll just run it, and it fails.
This is just a way to keep track of what code you used and what variables you used.
I'll show you in a second.
Okay.
I'll show you in a second. Because it will be nice. It will be nice. So input I had to put into parentheses so shell doesn't expand star. Okay. Okay. Now we ran it. We are running it. It's testing either it gets all the inputs. It should have been faster, I think, right? And GUID mapping we have. Output is the speed 20. What's it doing? Datalad, wake up. Well, I'll log in the background and see if it's busy with anything. Not really. Hard drive is busy, but oh, it's unlocking the file because I said that it's also output, and for output it just unlocks, but we could have said to don't bother anyway. What's next? Done. At least now it's done.
Wow.
Okay, and what we've got, let's see. We've got this file which is also committed into GitAnnex, right? So if we share, we will not share any personal GUID or sensitive information such as GUIDs, right? If we don't share explicitly on some public, you know, annex supported the portal, right? The point is now that we have also log message, which says that you run this command, but also we needed these inputs and these were outputs. Okay, why was that important, you say? Okay, now if somebody, let's say, I clone this df003 as df003 redo repository, right? So I clone, it goes fast, I don't have any data, right? And I have this last commit, and I want to redo that operation, right? It will not actually exactly work because we use bits into NDA from virtual environment, and we need that. I should have said that this was input as well, but anyway. Oh, actually, I have this virtual environment present. Okay, so the point is that I could let rerun. By default, it runs the last commit. What will happen? It will see that, oh, I need those inputs. It will fetch those inputs because it knows what inputs it needs. So now it fetched all this data from original location because it knows where it is, right? Then it unlocked that file as it did before. It reran this whole script, right? And hopefully it will say, oh, there is nothing to save because results should be the same, right? Run and okay. And save not needed. So it did everything. It reproduced the result. And only because we specified what were the inputs, it was able to get them automatically for us. But isn't that cool? You know, now you can just
do
redo
love it.
it.
Yeah. I'll have to get used to it because it's like a scheme that I wasn't familiar with, like the whole like get commit amends and the datalad reruns. I think they're super cool. So I'll definitely come back to this video.
Now we can do another piece of magic. Let's say later on you decided, oh, let me just get back to original repository because that's where we work. But let's say later on you decided, oh, now I'm ready to share more subjects. More subjects, it's bad. I will need to generate scans for them. But okay, let's do it. What I'll do then, I'll adjust my script. Let's say prep for NDA, right? And I'll say, okay, from 4 to 9, remove, okay? From 4 to 9, we remove. How would we do it best of all, I wonder, you know, because now we have that modified state. There is so many ways we could do it, but okay, I modify this state. The script, okay. Now we want to get more data into NDA. No, get sub3 into NDA. We saved our script. What I want to do is kind of to create to get those files from master branch, right? But how do I do it? There is a command which is kind of going into dark magic already of of GitAnnex. Read tree. We could kind of repopulate this entire. No, we cannot because we have this one. How do I do it? What's the best way? The lazy way would be
to just like get reset and
checkout
then like
master. No, because we have our own new stuff here now, right? We have new code scripts and whatnot, which we could have
create
done
a new
different.
branch where you have like up until subject 1 and 3.
We could, but then we would need to copy a script, right? So we need to copy something from somewhere now, right? It depends now how much we want to copy, right?
Yeah.
So I'll just go back to master, which should be fast, right? Where we have this entire subject 3, right? So I'll just do, we don't have any data here really, so I'll just create sub03 tgz sub03, right? So I'll be kind of lazy this way. I'll go check out back. It's really not the most efficient way, but okay, I'll extract this folder, I'll remove this target, and I'll save datalad save, add it. Oh, there is v3 command. I could have used that dark magic. Okay, added subject 03 from master via a tarball. Okay, so we save this new state, which saves all the symlinks. It doesn't save. That's why it's cheap, right? And then we need to do what we need to do. We need to redo few of those commands, right? So we need to rerun trim dataset only stuff I want to upload, right? So that was this commit. We'll say datalad rerun this commit. Okay, let's see what happens. It failed. Derivatives didn't match any files. That's okay, you know, it's life, but it kind of ignored it, which is good. What did it do? Git status show. No, it didn't. Trim dataset. Yeah, it removed those files. We are good, right? So it removed functional. And then what next do we need to do? Oh, we need to populate with the fake scans
GUID
files
ID?
because
Scans
oh,
files.
and GUID. That's right. So let's prepare for that subject, right? So we need to sub03 scans tsv.
Yarik,
Well,
sorry, I'll have to hop up in 2 minutes.
Oh, okay. I'll finish within 2 minutes, I bet. No, maybe not. 03. And then we need a new GUID. Unlock. But you've got the idea, right?
Yeah. This is super helpful.
I'll share this video so you could redo it when you get time.
Thank you so much. Yes, so I got the idea, just create a new branch, delete whatever I don't want, and then run datalad NDA onto it. And I'll use like the datalad commands that you've shown me, like the run with the input and the outputs, and see how it works.
Exactly.
Yeah. Great. And then if I want to upload it to like the NIMH sort of website, would I just datalad git?
No, then to upload, you need to use their tool, right? So there is a Java-based, they used to have Python tool, like NDA tools, but I'm not sure if it works because everything was changed in NDA. I'm not sure if it still works, but there is Java thing, which you give this image 03 txt, and it uploads, I believe, based on that manifest. Okay, so we created fake scans file for sub03 and added into GUID mapping, right? So in my case, I did this, and then we need to rerun that other commit, which was this one, right? Produce image 03, and rerun. So what happened, it also got those data files for subject 3 because we had sub-star, right? So it got the files. See, I didn't even have to do it manually. Then what's that? Subject 03. How did I screw up? I called it sub 3 instead of sub 03. Why?
I see. Okay. I'll try to go through this over the weekend. But do you mind if I reach out on Monday just to, like update you how it went? Okay. Thank you so much. Great, Yarik. This was so helpful. And I'll ask you for the video. How would I get that from you?
Well,
should I ping you like an email?
Yep.
Okay.
What did I screw up? Oh, because I wasn't in here. Okay. Why it doesn't work? Oh, save. Silly Yarik. Run. Okay. We run. I'm not giving up. I want to finish this
Yeah.
demo. Okay, see, unlock
Yeah.
that one,
Nice.
unlocked the output,
Hmm.
we ran it, and
Beautiful.
we've got new image03 file, which has now for GUID 3 has the row added. Bingo.
Beautiful.
I think
I would
so.
love to have this. Okay, so I'll give it a try over the weekend and reach out again.
Okay,
Thank you so
cool.
much.
Cheers.
All right.
Bye-bye. And to finish the demo, I want to share maybe the history of commands which I've run here. Hopefully nothing personal will be displayed if I go for 100. I think it's fine, so 100 was too much. I didn't even type that many commands. Codes, NDA stuff, bash history, or shell history to say. History, datalad, run. Nah, we will not run it, we'll just modify it as well. And we started this whole thing with we cloned. Clone HTTP where's DS003 clone. That was redo. That was the beginning of this demonstration. Schema, if there is nothing sensitive. Nope. I think it's all fine. Okay. And this, we don't want to commit it into annex, so I'll modify it attributes and say that shell history. I believe the last one wins, so annex large files equal nothing. There we go. Save relevant history shell history into a text file. Bingo. Let's see if it added to Git or Git annex. Oh, it added to Git. Very good. But it added Git attributes file itself into Git annex. That's good. Because we've made it star there. See? Git annex, unlock this file and modify the dot star. Will go pretty much this. Dot star. Nothing goes. Okay. Now save. Git files should go to Git. Now it's regular file. Good. Okay. We're done with this. We're done with that. Another demonstration would be, by the way, I'm doing demo, but am I sharing? Am I recording? Hopefully I do. Okay. Datalad create sibling. Or create sibling on GitHub. We have what? GitHub. Publish depends, dry run. There is nothing sensitive here. Where should I save it? Let's save it into con organization, which is Center for Open Neuroscience. Oh no, this is ReproCLInic. ReproCLInic, and it will be DS003 and the bits to NDA demo. That's where I'll save all of this goodness. Publish depends. I'll give it a name, GitHub ReproCLInic. Although it could be origin. Let's see if that would work out if I have credentials. No, no credentials. And now I cannot share this part because you might see my credentials. So I'll stop recording. But otherwise it will get there.